Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Saturday, the 5th of December 2020. It's the month of Thanksgiving. Thank you all for tuning in. It's the prodigious, it's the prominent professor at PNG, Proclamation News and Gatherings. Absolutely brand new edition. Sitting here comfortably inside the brand new edition of Proclamation News and Gatherings. Thank you so much. We've had a bit of time out, as some of you may be aware. I've been doing the Flux News, Flux for the daily, Flux for the show, Flux for the fly. We haven't been here, have we? I haven't been here. I've been here keeping you guys entertained. Got so much to get through. I've been studying my business management course. I've been on the ball. I've been on the ball 7 days a week, 8 hours a day. And you know what? I thought I deserve a break from entertaining. But I'm going to keep it physical. I'm going to keep it religious, methodical. And we're going to get back into the swing of things. We're going to get back into the swing of things. Thank you all for tuning in. God bless Tony Angel, always a loyal occupant listening in. I really appreciate you, buddy. Anyway, as we left off earlier, we're going to get right into the thick of things. There's so much to get through this afternoon, this late afternoon, early evening. Thank you all so much. I'm a capital P in proclamation. I'm a capital P in persuasion. I'm a capital P in persuasive. I'm a capital P in punctuation. I'm a capital P in provocative. I'm a capital P in propaganda. My provocative is to give you propaganda. I'm a capital P in purity. I'm a capital P in progressive. I'm a capital P in progression. I'm a capital P in philanthropist. I'm a capital P in absolute populism. Please share Proclamation News and Gatherings inside my home studio. Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. You know, I mean, I'm not going to, obviously, like I say before, there's a left side and a right. There's a left wing and a right wing. Without both wings of either side of the politics, there's no bird. The bird can't move. So we need left wing, we need a right wing. Don't we? We need all the ministers involved to lay down the laws. So everyone is following any political party. They all mean something. They're all doing something to support the government laying down the law. I mean, I implement a lot of laws. I get involved in a lot of things, you know. They're putting this new vaccine coming out. You know, everyone's got their ideas. How can we promote the vaccine? Because everyone's not going to want the vaccine. It's got, is it thalamoid? Thalamoid? But everyone thought it had thalamoid in it. Everyone's going, I'm not having the vaccine. Oh, it can make my, it can make my babies come out premature. Make my babies come out, you know, possible cerebral palsy or loss of limbs. It's not true. It hasn't got thalamoid in it. It hasn't got thalamoid in the vaccine. Everyone's having, you know, all these critics in the social media writing this new vaccine off. It's going to be mandatory. You shouldn't be allowed to enter shops. Why not take the vaccine? Just take the vaccine. If you can put others at risk, take the vaccine. Simple as that. Why argue the case? Why they're going to make it? They should make it mandatory anyway. Can't enter the supermarket. So everyone will have it then, won't they? If you want to stay alive, you want to eat, you got to have the vaccine. So the stores, all the superstores, especially the hospitality sector, like pubs, restaurants, supermarkets, hits all them three chains down the line. You can't enter unless you've had the vaccine. You're going to be having the vaccine. Simple as that. Why not listen to the law? If parliamentary sovereignty is the absolute law, and they're setting the laws for certain principles for protecting our society, why not take it? Why would you argue the case of taking the vaccine or not? Why would you argue that case? That's what I know. I'm not advocating anyone listening, by the way. I'm just saying, I mean, I've listened to so many critics in the media. I'm very, I'm populism all over the media. I get my name in where I can, getting my teeth into the thick of things. My voice needs to be heard. Your voice needs to be heard. My voice is being supported. I've got my equity card, Professor Johnson. I don't know if you can see. There you go, my equity card. This is what I planned out to do many moons ago. And I'm here today giving you the uproar. Anyway, guys, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you my side of the fence of politics. I know you guys might not be interested. Some of you might be Lib Dem. Some of you might be SNP. Some of you might be you might be Republicans. You might be in the US listening. You might be Labour Party. You know, you might be you might be a totally different part of the political border. But I'm just giving you my perspective as the way I see it, how I see it. I'm not trying to make you jump fence, but just how I see things. I believe in absolute escapism. Anyway, capital gains, guys. Capital gains. Anyway, O2 devices. The new networks and O2 devices. The new networks. The new mobile phone devices. I've got the best mobile network. BT as well. BT Home Hub is absolutely phenomenal if you're at home. But if you're out on the go, O2 network is the best for one device. So I've got fibre optic internet inside my home, inside my studio at Proclamation News and Gavin's. Best O2 mobile phone deals. Apple iPhone 11. It's deals from £36 a month. It's a new Apple iPhone 11. It's a new Apple iPhone 12 as well. Even newer than 11. There's a new one out and out, supposedly. Apple iPhone SE. That's £23 a month. Apple iPhone 12 is from £47 a month because it is the latest one out. No, it's not the latest one out. We've got more. Little did I know. Apple iPhone XR. Apple iPhone 12 Pro X. Apple iPhone 12 Mini. Samsung Galaxy S20. Apple iPhone 12 Pro. Samsung Galaxy A71. I'm not going to go for all the deals, but let me tell you, it's not. You don't just get a mobile phone device. You get special offers. You get free giveaways. You get trips for two, like a trip to London for you and your partner, or you and your mate. Spa days out. You can win lots of prizes with O2 devices. But firstly, you have to sign up to their special deals, the special offers. Ring up O2 Guru, speak to their guru, see what's in store. Because you can get if you've got a mobile phone device, you can get SIM only, but very, very cheap, and it's well worth diverting over. That's all I can say. I'm not going to bore you to tears. Come up to Christmas, maybe you want to get your niece or your nephew your phone. You'll make sure they're safe, not getting bullied. They're not getting, there's so many dodgy people out the street nowadays. Get them a mobile phone. Make your loved one safe. Anyway, before we move on to UK politics, why don't you become part of the world's oldest political movement? I mean, I said I was bona fide conservatism because I was brought up with traditions, respect, honour and obey. My granddad was in the World War II under Winston Churchill, 1945. And obviously I was born in the postmodernism era of Margaret Thatcher. But I'm not going to bore you, I can tell you the whole story before I go off on a tangent. We don't want to hear that now. Which membership is right for you? If you're living abroad, you can still join. If you're already a member, this might not mean so much to you. But anyway, if you're under 26, it's £5 per year. Standard party membership and all associated benefits is offered to a special £5 rate to those aged under 26. Standard £25. Standard membership is £25 per year. Members can play an active role in the party and can attend an annual conference and receive voting rights in party elections after 3 months of membership. All from £25 per year or just £2.09 per month. Armed Forces, £15. Standard party membership and all associated benefits is offered at a reduced rate for serving a former members of our armed forces. I'm going to put my PayPal thing up here, guys. No, I'm not begging you to make a donation, but if you're listening quite frequently, you don't mind donating, it's only as small as 50p. I really appreciate it. I really would. I'm spending day in, day out trying to build a better establishment inside my YouTube. Any little bit of support you can help, I really appreciate it. You don't have to. It's not mandatory. You can make a choice. You can just come listen for free. I appreciate you listening The more listeners, the better. But I'm just saying, if you can, and you do want to support the efforts I put in for the show, I appreciate it. What your membership gets you, it helps us win elections. All your subscription goes towards our campaigns. You can choose candidates and vote in the leadership elections. So you choose the people you want to represent you. Take part in our campaign groups, like the Conservative Women's Organisation or the Young Conservatives. Meet like-minded people and make a difference to our country. You can come to conference. Join our MPs, councillors and activists in the biggest event of the Conservative calendar. Get the latest from inside the party. Influence party policy. Connect with local Conservatives. You can also stand for election. You want to stand for election. You want to be part of the Conservative Party. You don't have to go back. You need to sign up and speak to one of Conservative gurus, one of Conservative members that work in the Conservative office. Thank you all for tuning in, ladies and gents. Really it's absolutely phenomenal. You're supporting me day in. What is going on with Brexit right now? What is going on with Brexit? I mean, we're all sitting here. What's going on with Brexit? Deal's been done, isn't it? Brexit stalemate. Boris Johnson and Ursula von der Leyen seek to break trade deal deadlock. Boris Johnson, European Commission President, Ursula von der Leyen, are to speak as they try to break the post-Brexit trade deal stalemate. The leaders were called into after negotiators for the two sides that said significant divergences remain following a week of intensive talks. If there is still a way, we will see EU negotiator Michael Barnier, which has said, sticking points including fishing rights, rules on state subsidies for businesses and arrangements for policy and any deal, policing any deal. UK left the EU on the 31st of January but remains under EU trading rules until a transition period ends on the 31st of December. One source close to negotiation on the UK side suggested there has been a more optimistic outlook early in the week, but pointed on demands for the EU fishing boats to have 10-year access to UK waters as one issue that derailed progress, as had been reported in Telegraph. BBC's political editor Laura Kuenberg said the pattern of the recent negotiations with the EU was the victory to be snatched from the verge of defeat at the very last moment. But the one member of the government was now putting the chances of a deal at around 50-50. She said it would be complacent to think it would be all automatically fall into place after the last bit of political scrapping. Speaking to reporters in London as he prepared to return to Brussels, Mr. Barnier said, "We keep calm, as always, and if there is still a way, we will see." Brexit, the basics. Brexit, the basics. Brexit happened, but rules didn't change at once. The UK left the European Union on the 31st of January, but leaders needed time to negotiate a deal for life afterwards. They got 11 months. Talks are happening. The UK and EU have until the 31st of December to agree a trade deal, as well as other things such as fishing rights. If there is no deal, border checks and taxes will be introduced for goods travelling between UK and EU, but deal or no deal, we will still see changes. What happens next with Brexit? Francis, you know what? People don't know what's going on with Brexit. People jump into conclusions. What's going on with Brexit? You want to know the answer? Here's the answer. What's happening next with Brexit? We want news. You got quantitative news, which you get in most propaganda. Depends where the public source comes from, doesn't it? Or you get qualitative data, or you get hearsay of other people also, which is quantitative data. You don't want hearsay. You want to come to proclamation news and gatherings. 9 times out of 10. I will say 9 times out of 10 because I know I get my strong force of qualitative evidence from. Which is almost facts, isn't it? Qualitative evidence is almost facts. So why go listen to some other political storyline on another radio cast when you've got P&G? P&G, absolute phenomenal, absolute populism. Why would you go elsewhere when you come shopping there? France's Europe minister suggested his country could better a deal if it was not satisfied. French President Emmanuel Macron has been keen to ensure the fishing industry will not lose too much access to British waters. While Belgian MEP Philippa Lambert said the fishing issue has been overdone by both the UK and France, adding, "We should cut it down to size. It should not be allowed to derail a good deal." Mr Lambert said the main issue that remained were competition and governance. He said they are much more important, and this is very tough not to crack, and it will really depend on whether Boris Johnson wants to limit economic damage caused by Brexit. Meanwhile, the spokesman for the German Chancellor, Angela Merkel, said there was always room for compromise. And Irish Prime Minister Michael Martin said they fervently hoped a trade deal can be agreed. Former UK Brexit Secretary David Davis told BBC Breakfast the probability of a deal was still high, but there would be compromise on both sides, and the big decisions won't be this afternoon between the Prime Minister and the President of the Commission, but in Wales, running not between Berlin and Paris and other capitals. He said, "My suspicion is when it gets to an end, and the end of the month, there is no time to ratify, so they will have to do some sort of freeze in place of common customs arrangements to take us through the new months until everybody from the European Parliament to the Walloon Parliament actually give their opinion." Positive-minded readers might consider that even if the UK deal were almost agreed, the European Commission President, and arguably especially Boris Johnson, who was aligned himself so personally to get Brexit done, would want to put their personal stamp on things. Confirmation that they would call each other on Saturday afternoon could therefore be seen as a good sign, although sources in the EU and the UK warn not to expect news on the conclusive big breakfast following their chat. Cynics might nod their heads to what I say, that considering the uncomfortable political compromises both sides have to make and reach to the deal. One more crisis, aka the current stop in talks, is quite useful to demonstrate to the public back home that you're hanging on in here, fighting off their interests. That's certainly a way to interpret France's threat to use its veto if a deal is agreed and doesn't like it. Emmanuel Macron has enjoyed the role Brexit bad cop throughout. It plays well domesticatedly, and France and the frenemy is an easy headline into the UK too. But reality is more nuanced. Paris trumpets more brashly what it is the belief in all EU capitals and in the UK government. Yes to the deal, but not at any cost. Releasing identical statements on Friday evening, Mr Banner and his UK counterpart Lord Frost said, after 1 week of intense negotiation in London, the two chief negotiators agreed today that the conditions for an agreement are not met due to significant differences on a level playing field, governance and fisheries. On this basis, they agreed to pause the talks in order to debrief their principles on the state of play of negotiations. If an agreement is reached, it will be led to be turned into legal text and translated into all EU languages and ratified by the European Parliament. UK government is likely to introduce legislation implementing parts of any deal reached, which MPs will be able to vote on. And the 27 EU national parliaments could also need to ratify an agreement, depending on the actual content of the deal. There you go, Brexit on a dish. It's not quite straightforward, Brexit on a dish, is it? I'll give you Brexit on a dish, day in, day out. It's not quite straightforward as it seems. I bet you just come out of that conversation. Hello, Supercell. Thank you for coming through. I'm just doing my daily political review with my friends on Proclamation News on Gavin YouTube and on Castbox. Thank you for listening. Brexit. All you need to know about UK leaving the EU. Brexit happened when the UK left the European Union on the 31st January 2020. If it feels like little has changed, that's because both sides agreed many things would stay the same for 11 months to allow leaders time to agree a deal for life after Brexit. Talks are on the way, but with time running out on the 31st December, things are far from settled. What is the Brexit deal? The EU and the UK always had to agree new rules for how to live, work and trade together. While the UK was in the EU, companies could buy and sell goods across the EU borders without paying taxes, known as tariffs. If there is no trade deal, businesses will have to start paying these taxes, which could make things more expensive. As well as a deal on goods, the UK would like one on services, which are a big part of this economy. This isn't part of the talks, but separate agreements on things like banking are still possible. Agreements on areas like airline safety, medicine, and sharing of information about security threats are also important. When might we get a deal? A deadline is of 15th of October set by the UK's Prime Minister Boris Johnson. It has already been missed, but the UK and the EU are still talking. Some of the sticking points are, it's given an absolutely phenomenal stance at what's going to happen after EU leaves Brexit, isn't it? Absolutely. You want qualitative evidence? I say come to Proclamation News and Gavin with the absolute splendid populism news. I'm so glad you're very well, Supercell. I'll be with you shortly, girl. Thank you so much for tuning in. Everyone tuning in to my YouTube or Castbox, please subscribe, share. I want to build my audience and try and get some adequate conversation going. When we get people phoning in, getting things, we want stuff going on, don't we? We want to make this episode a proper show, don't we? The EU is worried the UK will give financial help to its own firms, which it says would give them an unfair advantage. The UK is concerned about who will be allowed to fish in its waters. The EU fears the UK is trying to change an agreement made about the complicated case of Northern Ireland, the only part of the UK to have a land border with the EU. What if we don't get a deal? There's a lot of trade between the EU and the UK, which won't change overnight. If there is no trade deal, it could mean higher prices in UK shops. There could also be delays as lorries bring products in. It would need. It could also be delays as lorries bringing products in would even need border checks. Brexit supporters say leaving the EU will give the UK more freedom to strike trade deals around the world. It's not bad, is it? Brexit supporters say leaving the EU will give the UK more freedom to strike trade deals around the world. You're looking at WTO, you've got places like China, Southern America, I'm not quite assuming, but I don't think there's Southern America in the EU, places like Mexico and all that sort of stuff. You know, the big traders that we need, the big traders, China, absolutely, WTO, all the Caribbean islands. To me, I'm safe because I like Caribbean food and I like technology, which mostly comes from China. I like clothes, mostly come from China. What more do you need? That's Brexit on a dish. Absolutely. We've got everything we need on a dish. Let's eat it. Let's enjoy it. Brexit on a dish. Absolutely. When the UK was in the EU, it was automatically part of the EU trade deals with more than 70 countries. Since leaving, it has made deals with 50 of those countries in order to continue trading in the same way. It is unlikely the UK will manage to do deals with all of the others before the end of the year. It is also in talks with countries like the US and Australia, but none of these trade deals haven't yet been reached. And in one sentence, I mean, Boris always gets on with the Americans anyhow, but as it stands with Joe Biden in charge, I have no idea, but I know he's very good pals with President Trump. And in one sentence, talk continues. But with the deadline on the 31st December fast approaching, a UK government source says the chance of a breakthrough is recording. So what changes on the 1st of January 2021? Deal or no deal? The way people live and work will be different. People plan to move between the UK and the EU to live, work and retire will no longer be automatically allowed to do so. The UK will apply a points-based immigration system to EU citizens. Travel rules are changing, so check your passport is still valid, that you have health insurance and the right driving documents. The UK will no longer make big annual payments towards the EU's budget. Arrival from the UK will stand in different queue at passport control in EU countries. Business trading with the EU will face a lot more paperwork. What Brexit word means? What does Brexit word mean, ladies and gents? The last few years seen many words and phrases enter our lives. We haven't used them here, but politicians do use them. Here's what some of them mean. Transition period. 11th month period for the UK's exit from the EU. Fishing at the end of 2020. During the time, the UK allows the EU rules and leaders to try and make a deal. Free trade agreement. This is what the UK and the EU are trying to agree. A deal between countries that encourages trade by getting rid of barriers, like taxes on goods. The WTO rules if countries don't have free trade agreements, they must trade according to the rules set by a global body called the WTO, World Trade Organization, which means tax on goods. We've got some great news coming up, ladies and gents. Please stay tuned, please share, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. Look at the Jamaica flight. Priti Patel criticises anti-deportation campaign. Priti Patel, Conservative Secretary, isn't she? Priti Patel has criticised Labour's MPs and celebrities for invoking the Windrush scandal on their efforts to stop a flight deporting convicted criminals to Jamaica, the Caribbean islands of Jamaica. The plane containing 13 prisoners took off on Wednesday. 23 were left off it following legal changes. Campaigners said there was a risk where people were being wrongly removed, as happened in the Windrush scandal. The Home Secretary said their reference to the Windrush was deeply offensive. She told the Daily Mail that it was misjudged and upsetting for the ill-informed Labour politicians and the do-gooding celebrities to invoke into their campaign. The Windrush scandal, which emerged in 2018, saw people who come to the UK from the Commonwealth countries wrongly told they were in the country illegally. It was cited in an open letter last month signed by 90 public figures, including model Naomi Campbell and actress Fandy Newton, warning that issues linked to the Windrush have not been resolved. They argued a planned deportation flight brought credible risk of unlawful and wrongful deportations and urged airlines to boycott it. The campaigners warned the UK frequently seeks to deport people whose crimes are linked to forced labour and process for identifying victims of trafficking were in disarray. A separate letter last month, signed by over 60 mostly Labour MPs and peers, also called for the flight to be cancelled. Criminality, not nationality. The MP said some children were forced apart from their parents and the flight posed a COVID-19 risk, adding that the government had so far failed to learn a lesson from a March review into a Windrush scandal. But during a Commons debate on Monday, Immigration Minister Chris Philip told MPs the flight was about criminality, not nationality, and had nothing to do with the Windrush scandal. He added that not a single individual on the flight had been found eligible for the government scheme set up to compensate victims of the scandal in March. Down the street, it said all of the people on the flight were dangerous foreign criminals who had been born in Jamaica, adding, each week we remove foreign criminals. There is no difference. Home Secretary required by law to deport any foreign national who has received a prison sentence in the UK for more than a year, unless a specified exemption applies. It is reported that among those offenders originally due to be sent to Jamaica last Wednesday were victims of modern slavery. Others said to have young children in the UK. Frustration at human rights campaigners going to court to prevent the deportation is evident in Ms Patel's depiction of them as do-gooding celebrities. By the government aspects, it can only deport those convicted felons who do not need this country's protection and have no legal basis for remaining here. Conditions which open the door to legitimate legal challenge. There is also Home Office anger at suggestions that the deportation flights are akin to the Windrush scandal, with officials nothing that all those due to be aboard Wednesday's flight had their case checked by the Home Office Windrush Task Force. In an interview with the Mail, Ms Patel said the Windrush generation had made enormous contributions to our country and were wronged by successive governments. To see ill-informed Labour politicians and do-good-doing celebrities attempted to conflate this victim of Windrush with these vile criminals set for deportation is not only misjudged and upsetting, but deeply offensive, she added. After a flight took off on Wednesday, Mr Phillips said, it was disappointing that the immigration law firms continued to use last-minute tactics to remove a significant number of offenders. I mean, the UK want to get rid of these offenders back into their country. Is that fair when they've made the offence here? They're going to send them back to where they come from. But was they like that before they come here? Then they're going to send them back to Jamaica. Is that a fair offence to send them back? Maybe they've got wrapped in some certain circles because they're ethnic minority, got bullied and, subjugated to some sort of, I'm covering this, don't you? Some sort of criminology with the English citizen, average English citizen. You don't know. I don't know what these offenders have done. I don't want to even think about it, but I'm just thinking as we approach it as a etiquette thinker. I want to be a critical thinker, but I need direction. So I've got directions in front of me, black and white. So I'm thinking, these, minority Jamaicans, born in Jamaica, come to England, become offenders of some sort, maybe trafficking, human trafficking, anything. But did they get in the chain gang of, could be politicians, it could be working for politicians, you don't know. You don't know who they're working for. They might have been put up to the job, you don't know. And they get sent back into their country. Is that fair? Is that fair to get treated in that such distraught way, possibly? I don't know the qualitative evidence because I'm only reading what's in front of me. I haven't got the actual legislation to what's going on. These individuals had every opportunity to raise the claims in the days and weeks leading up to the flight, he said. However, a significant number of claims were not submitted until hours before the flight was due to leave, meaning some murderers and rapists were able to stay in the UK. We've got paedophiles in the UK. walk, they do their 8-year stretch what they get for touching a 5-year-old. I don't know what think about, what they do, but to touch 5, they get 5, they get a holiday in prison. They get a holiday in prison. Food, they've got a gym, they keep fit, they keep them focused, and they come out with a job as well. They get let out of prison to go and work. They get let out. This is what I want to do, so I don't get affected by these absolute astronauts on our Earth. I'm on my own. No one can affect me sitting here. I don't want to hear about all this animosity or this stress. These juveniles walking the street and I can't slap them without getting arrested. I like to keep myself to myself, out of harm's way. Absolutely. Oh, makes me shiver down my back thinking about the absolute monstrosity that walk out within our humanities today. How can you let them out of prison to walk freely? Do they deserve a second chance? They're saying it's a mental health. It is mental health, but they need if they've got mental health and they start touching it, they need that chopped off. Absolutely. No else. Chopped off or sewn up. Man or woman. Anyway, moving on. Oh. Target attacks. He said the Home Office would work through the cases of those taken off the flight as quickly as possible. Ms Patel has also previously criticised do-gooders and lefty lawyers for defending our broken immigration and asylum system. After the publication of her mail on Friday, the Bar Council, which represents barristers in England and Wales, said targeted attacks on individual lawyers who are simply doing their jobs applying to law of the land is completely wrong and dangerous. We and the Law Society have recently been in contact with the Home Office again about our concerns. Glenda, Caesar and Wimbush victim who lost her job as a GP administrator as she didn't have the paperwork to prove she could legally work in the UK, criticised Ms Patel's comments. Miss Caesar arrived in the UK from Dominica legally in 1961 when she was a child. She told the PA News Agency she hasn't taken the time to meet with us or speak with us. How can she know what's deeply offensive for us? Or stating that she did not condone crime. She said if prisoners being deported had spent their childhood in the UK, then she could understand how they would feel about taking to the country they don't even know. Shocking news, isn't it? I do like reading about Priti Patel, I ain't gonna lie. Absolutely phenomenal. She's been depicted quite a lot in the media. As had a break, I think she just come out the other end of pretty stuff. In 2019, 19,290 people were moved from the UK, according to the Home Office. The majority of this group leave the country voluntarily. Once caught for breaking immigration office, for example, but around 7,200 are forcibly removed. These numbers have declined in recent years, with last year seeing the lowest number of removals in at least 15 years. Numbers so far this year suggest it has dipped further, which could be due to the impact of coronavirus. Last year, the largest nationality groups to be forcibly returned were Romanian, Albanian, Brazilian, Polish and Lithuanian, representing half the total. Jamaicans representing 48 of the total. We know that all of the people returned from the UK, around 5,100 were foreign national offenders. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for subscribing. Thank you all for being loyal to the show. Sir Keir Starmer self-isolates after staff members test positive for coronavirus. Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer is having to self-isolate after a member of his staff tested positive for coronavirus. In line with the government advice, Sir Keir will now have to stay at home for the 12 days of his last contact with the affected person. A spokesperson for Sir Keir said this means it will have to come out of self-isolation of Wednesday, the 16th December. Their added the party leader was well and not showing any symptoms. It is the second time Sir Keir has had to self-isolate because of coronavirus in September. A member of the family showed symptoms of the virus, but they later tested negative, allowing Sir Keir to get back to Westminster. It comes a week after Prime Minister Boris Johnson came out of his own isolated period, having had contact with the MP who tested positive with the virus. Sir Keir's spokesman has said during the latest period of self-isolation, the Labour leader will continue to work from home. Ladies and gents, I'm just going to carry on, but just bear with me. I want you guys, if you don't mind, to keep me encouraged, to keep me motivated, to keep me pursuing more what I do for God than I did yesterday. I just want you to, if you can, support, if I can, hang on. I don't know if I'm trying to work out. I might have to do it. If I can't, we're going to crack on. Oh, I've got someone in my life. I'm going to carry on. I've got one of my lovely friends in my live feed. I hear I've got a lovely friend in my live feed. So I'm going to carry on, keep you occupied. Thank you all for listening. Always put my PayPal details up. Thank you so much for supporting the show. I really appreciate it. A man charged with murdering 2 women in Kent in 1987. Did you hear about the Essex boys? They're later to be released as well in the next few months. A man has been charged with the murders of 2 women killed more than 30 years ago. David Fuller, 66, was arrested on Thursday in connection with the deaths of Wendy Nell and Caroline Pierce from Kent in 1987. Wow! 1985 years after I was born. Yeah. I think, yeah. Cold case detective have since charged Mr. Fuller from Heathfield, East Sussex, with 2 counts of murder. Kent police said he had been remained in custody and were next at Maidstone Crown Court on Tuesday, the 8th of December. Imagine that. It took them all that long to get enough qualitative evidence. All them years. It must have been a great chief inspector or constable, or whoever it was, to find all the evidence. Assistant Chief Constable Tracy Harmon from Kent Police said, whilst more than 3 decades have passed since the murders took place, I would urge anyone who has any information, no matter how minor or insignificant it may appear to be, to contact us. Miss Nell, 25, who was found dead at her home in Guildford Road, Tunbridge Wells on the 23rd of June, had been beaten and sexually assaulted. Miss Pierce, 20, was attacked outside her home in the town's Grosvenor Park on the 24th of November. Her body was found on the 15th of December in the field near Romney Marsh. I mean, it's times like this, in such calm climate, we don't realise, what all, you press 999, what do you get? You get the fire brigade, you get the police, you get the NHS services, all the key workers. What do they do in their job? They do a hell of a lot. The firemen don't just put fires out. They'll go and save a cat from a tree, not a burning tree. A cat that can't jump out of a tree. A baby cat that can't jump out. They go and get a cat, something so little. They go and get a tree that's in the middle of the road and move it. They do a lot. Same as the police. Police do an awful lot as well. Awful lot. Attending, supporting rape victims, support, going to schools, tuitioning kids at schools, especially. Even firemen are going to schools, do not play. So firemen says do not play with fire. Then you've got NHS, you've got our carers as well. NHS and their care workers, absolute key workers, they're not paid enough. Nicola Sturgeon in Scotland, I was saying this the other day, suggesting this the other day, is paying all the NHS workers because they're key workers in this calm climate, putting ourselves at risk while they go to work. Putting themselves at risk and their loved ones at home at risk while they go to work, while they put baked beans and toast on the table for their loved ones. People don't realise how much hard work they put in. I don't think they appreciate it enough, if I'm honest. I appreciate you, but That's just my voice. That's my voice. Is that good enough? You can accept my voice? You want that £500 like all Scottish again? I ain't got £500. Sorry, but I'd love to help you. I'd love to help pursue it. Maybe I'll set up a petition. We can all support it. Maybe that's the way forward for you getting that support. Anyway, there's no business like show business. Flux with the show, flux with the flow, and away we go. It's PNG. PNG. Absolute populism. Absolute populism. Thank you all for actually coming together, listening in, supporting the show. Suspected Hollywood con queen arrested in the UK. An Indonesian man suspected of being the con queen of Hollywood, a figure who allegedly impersonated female executives to defraud aspiring stars, has appeared in court in London. Hargo Bind, Tahalimami, 41, is alleged to have swindled hundreds of thousands of dollars out of hopeful actors. The FBI is investigating the alleged scam, which is said to began in 2013. Mr. Ramani was recently arrested in the UK. The US has made a provisional application for his extradition. The application is on the grounds of aggravated identity theft, wire fraud, and conspiracy to commit wire fraud, and a full extradition request is expected in January. At Friday's hearing at Westminster Magistrates Court, District Judge David Robson said there were substantial grounds to believe Mr. Romani would fail to surrender to the court in future, that he was granted bail. So he's been held in custody for another 28 days. Mr. Romani allegedly impersonated Lucasfilm boss Kathleen Kennedy, former Sony movie chief Amy Pascal, and ex-Paramount boss Sherry Lansing. He also allegedly pretended to be Wendy Murdoch, the entrepreneur, film producer and ex-wife of Rupert Murdoch, along with several male movie executives. The AFP news agency said the court documents filed in California show film industry workers were approached with an offers of lucrative showbiz jobs and instructed to travel to Indonesia for tasks, including location scout and research, and drafting screenplays. Mr. Ramani would use fake accents and alter his voice to sound like a woman, according to the documents. Training videos. When victims arrived in Indonesia, they were allegedly cheated out of the US currency for upfront payments to Mr. Ramani and his colleagues, who offered movie projects that never materialised. If the victims complained or expressed doubt, Ramani would sometimes threaten to dismember them, it was claimed. The FBI said the alleged scam moved to non-existent training videos when the travel bans took effect due to coronavirus pandemic. The Jewish co-founder of K2 Integrity said this started as an investigation into a single impersonation case, but it snowballed from there into an investigation into a series of impersonations. Absolutely phenomenal approach, isn't it, ladies and gents? I've got one more show business before we hit the road. Stay tuned, guys. Going to the last of the news. Cameo celebrity video apps boss plays aid of A-lister is over. I'll go back through that. Are we all set for a big Christmas get together? What is special about Christmas? Thanksgiving. It's traditional, isn't it, to spend it with your family and loved ones. Everything about Christmas. It's about remembrance, Thanksgiving. Remembrance of, where you was born, where your bread was buttered. The moments you share. That's what it's called, the traditions. It's called traditions. Conservative, isn't it? It's called conservative. That's why I'm conservative. Because conservative means traditional. I like traditional. It is what it is. It says in the tin. It's Spotify conservatism is genuine, it's traditional, and it's Christmas. You spend it with your family and loved one. Anyway, Cameo celebrity video app boss says age of A-lister is over. I don't actually like Christmas, but I'm just trying to make you feel better. But anyway, moving on. The co-founder of Cameo, a service which allows fans to buy personal video messages from their favourite stars, says the traditional A-list celebrity is a thing of the past. Speaking at Wed Summit, Stephen Galanis said the biggest stars now were those with huge followings on digital platforms like YouTube and TikTok. Former US boy band star Lance Bass spoke on his experiences. He said that having a catchphrase had made him in demand with the Cameo users. Bass, a member of the 1990s boy band NSYNC, has recorded more than 10 hours of short video messages for fans since he joined the Cameo in 2018. He said 80% of his requests involved him saying the catchphrase "bye, bye, bye," although the title of one of his band's greatest hits. We won't work bye, bye, the smell and burn, that one. He said his favourite videos were messages recorded for the couple to see at their weddings, and added that he was very wary of being pranked. I think you're always looking at for the request. Sometimes you think people are following you to say something of the war, he said. I haven't had many of those. Whoa, Lance has been charged £206 per video. With the money currently going to charities, celebrities can set their own fees, and the platform takes a 25% cut. Some of the most expensive bookings include reality TV star Caitlyn Jenner at £2,075, or another 30 for former friend and Matthew Perry. Fans pay for their favourite star and a record of a short message, writing a script themselves a maximum length of 250 characters. The pandemic has changed everything to the Bass. In my business, entertainment, we've been hit the hardest. We've been shut down since March. He said he had connected more with fans via Cameo, and he had been able to do during the heyday of NSYNC. No travel required. We had the idea that the selfie was the new autograph, said Stephen Galanis, explained how the business began. He was also inspired to try to help retired sports stars after seeing a documentary which claimed that a huge number of American footballers' plays were broke with 5 years of playing their last game. The pandemic had brought a lot of famous faces to sign up because other works was not available yet, and no travel is required. Unlike Uber or DoorDash, we don't have to have localized supply to meet localized demand, he said. Additional services launched by the site that include direct messages, where fans can pay to send a message to a star. A reply is not guaranteed or have a short live, non-recordable chat with them via Zoom. I don't think you guys got Zoom. I don't use it, to be honest with you. Mr. Gannis said he hoped to launch a face-to-face meet and greet product once COVID-19 restrictions are allowed. Anyway, let's go back. I'm nearly finished with my show, guys. I'm just going to try and let it roll on for 1 full hour. I've got bad neck. I've got stiff neck. Been studying. I've been giving you the daily upfeed on the news. I'd love to put my paper out there. Even if you guys can donate something as small as a 50p, just to keep me encouraged to do more for God than I did yesterday. I always say tomorrow I'll do more for God than I did today. I always put in more work day in, day out. It's absolutely important that we have a methodical approach as we wake up in the morning with compassion to wake up. What are you waking up for compassion for? You've got compassion for your loved ones, your children, your mother, your father. You've got compassion to wake up. You've got compassion to being in a fit shape. Your body and your mind is your temple. It's the way you feel it which encounters your actions. Absolutely. I could be a counsellor right here, right now, but I don't really want to be. But anyway, ladies and gents, yeah, as I was saying, who's going to take the vaccine? Who isn't going to take the vaccine? Some people say, I don't take the vaccine, it's got that thalamoid in it. Thalamoid's not in it, let me tell you. Thalamoid's not in the vaccine. It's hearsay. People are jumping on propaganda. In propaganda, you've got qualitative evidence and quantitative evidence. You usually get writers from all over the globe. Some of that not really educated is clutching at straws to write some news, to fill up the newspaper, to fill up the propaganda. You're going to buy it. But they don't care what they put in it. You're buying it. But let's look at the facts, the deep facts where the professor scientists are making the actual vaccine from. There was a site, I can't remember that name it now. It's American website where they got all the factual figures of where these professors get their ideas from. Very, very fortunate that we research properly before you open your gob. Use your cranium before you open your mandible. Any critics in their social media? I'm not. When people listening, don't think I'm painting a picture of you guys, because not at all. I'm so thankful that you guys do support me. But I'm open when I share this on media, and other people share it with their media friends. They might listen in and think, yeah, I'm an idiot. I'm not talking about the ones that are listening now, the ones that, my regulars, my good people around me. I'm surrounded by good friends, good friends, family, loved ones. I've got good people amongst my show. I mean, I don't always get the same loyal, people. I get different people come from different places. I've got Castbox on, I've got my YouTube on. Now I'm going to be sharing it over Facebook and LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn as well. I don't really use LinkedIn. I don't have to use it, but there you go. So, 20 more days to go, ladies and gents. 20 more days to go. Have you got all your presents needed for Christmas Day? I haven't. I haven't. I paid one of my last ones. I've got something else to get. Well, a couple more bits to get. And my next payday is the day before Christmas. Hallelujah. I'm lucky, I'll say I can see me going a trip to Tesco's buying their one pack of biscuits here for Christmas. It's about Thanksgiving. It doesn't matter what you give, does it? It does not matter what you give. Love and friendship shouldn't be about money. If I can bring success to your table without money, what does it matter? You're going to go to someone with £1 million in their bank because you feel like he's done something good in his life. He's probably the most corrupt bloke you've ever met in your life. He spent it as a firebomb note. I ain't got a firebomb note, but I can tell you I'm more straight than a dice. You roll a dice, you get a 6 every time. That's me. Straight as a dice. Anyway, ladies and gents, thank you all. Nearly held out for an hour. I was just trying to run the show, keep it going for an hour. I've got little motivation to keep going. I've been reading, I've been emphasising, bringing a lot of meditations from previous weeks into today's modern society. Actually, before we go, we've got a couple more minutes. What's your morality of money? Think of money. You get given money. What's your morality? This is where we learn good and bad money. And good and bad money go into the wrong hands as well. You get good money, go into the bad hands. And you get bad money, go into the good hands. But anyway, good and bad money. Morality of money. Money. What do we need money for? In the UK, we don't need money, do we? We've got food banks. We've got government putting roof over it, but we don't know. We need money. We need money for our bills. We need money, exactly. Money for utility bills. Money for clothes. Money for, utility bills. Water, heating, electric. Do we need money? Do we need money for what necessities like going out with friends? That's a necessity. And we don't need to have these fantastic times out with friends, do we? We have so much fun indoors. Look around me. Do you want to be loved? Do you want to be loved because you've got £10 million in your bank? I don't want to be controlled by someone with £10 million in the bank. Definitely not. Imagine how miserable that life would be. Your husband or your wife's got £10 million. You're their slave. Cook my dinner. I've got £1 million in my bank. How does that make you feel? Degraded. Make you feel degraded. It make you feel ungrateful that you've got a pig-headed boyfriend or a girlfriend as well, wouldn't it? Absolutely. Anyway, I'm the love guru. If you want my number, it's 118. Yeah, ask for the prodigious appointment professor at P&G. I'll put you through, no problem. God bless, take care, one love, speak soon.